All right, hello everybody. This is Comic Book Syndicate. This is not Laser Brains. This is not Tape Crusaders. I'm your co-host Mike L, and as always, I'm joined by Bex Luthor.
It's me. You would think it's one of those shows where we talk about garbage movies, but it's actually not.
So,
right?
I couldn't quite fit this into Tape Crusaders, but we are here to talk about another garbage movie. This is the classic 1987 Masters of the Universe. And we are obviously doing this because they're releasing a reboot very soon, right?
Is it rebooting this specific movie or just like another live action He-Man?
It's another live action He-Man,
Okay.
but it's the same franchise, right? It's like Batman. It's
Yeah.
another adaptation. Now, I have to ask, what is your familiarity with this franchise?
I'm vaguely familiar with He-Man.
Okay.
Most of my He-Man knowledge comes from She-Ra because I watched a lot of She-Ra. And I also watched the She-Ra reboot, but I did not watch any He-Man except for the one animated movie that he's in with She-Ra. I have a passing knowledge of it just being a nerd.
Okay. So,
I have a love of Skeletor, as most women do.
Okay, really? Do they?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, you haven't asked anybody, but you assume. Okay.
Yeah, I just assume all the women I meet like Skeletor. Because
Right.
obviously.
Okay,
And
so
what's your backstory with He-Man?
well, He-Man is interesting because it's the first franchise that I outgrew, where I remember liking it, and then I remember feeling like I was too old for it. So it came out in 82, 83, and by the time I got to 84, I felt like, oh, that's kid stuff. But contrary to that, I just rewatched the Transformers cartoon like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I just rewatched the G.I. Joe cartoon, so I never outgrew those, right? But He-Man always felt a little bit more for little kids.
Yeah, it's definitely, at least if it was the same vibe as She-Ra, it was definitely the very basic principle of good versus evil and friendship and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think I did also move on relatively quickly
Sure.
from
The bigger and
She-Ra.
better things, yeah.
because I was just watching like VHS tapes, right?
Right.
The
Now,
same
there's
like
not-
6 episodes.
Sure. And there's not much I can say that our viewers don't know about this franchise, but the big thing about it is it was the first show that came out after the United States relaxed laws about advertising directly to children. And so they basically created a 30-minute commercial for toys and ran it every day for 4 years or something, right? So the sales on the toys were astronomical for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I had them all and whatever. And then after the franchise completely died and no one liked it anymore, they came out with this movie. So it was perfect timing. Yeah.
I was like, this movie came out in 87, right?
Right. 5 years in. Yep. And so
Who
just
who saw this?
and it should have been like $100 million blockbuster, but instead they gave it to this piece of crap studio, the same studio that did Superman 4, by the way.
Oh, my favorite of the Supermans.
And
The most interesting for sure.
Yeah, yes. I'll just say that I remember on my street in Forest Glade, me, my brother, my neighbors, Brett Reno and Chris Reno, and probably Sarah McIntosh, and maybe Dana Posolowski, if they're listening to this or watching. Not only did we all go, but we were too young. We went with our parents. So imagine like 15, 20 people walking to Forest Glade Theater to see Masters of the Universe. And we all hated it. We all thought it was complete crap.
Looking at the box office, it must have been just you guys.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So I've obviously, it's funny. I saw it I had to see it a handful of times as a kid. Then I skipped 30 years or whatever. And then I saw it again. Now I've seen it twice since the lockdown because I watched it this week and then I watched it in the first year of the lockdown, as we all did. I went crazy and I had nothing to do. So I just watched all these weird old movies and this was one of them. So
what an insane pick.
I know, right?
I mean, it's not going to make you miss the outdoors, I guess.
That's true. Good point.
You're like, you know what? Maybe I could stay by myself forever.
Forever.
Actually. So I had never seen this before.
Okay.
And I wish that were still true.
Right. Yeah. I'll say one more thing before we talk about this movie. There's kind of three classic continuities. There's the original comic books. So when you got the toys, they came with a little comic book this big. I don't know if you know about that.
I'm vaguely aware.
Right. And the original mini comics had a different continuity that was just made up on the spot. I don't remember who the writer was. It was a DC writer.
Mm-hmm.
And the art was, I think it was inked by Alfred Alcala, I think his name is. And then the DC comics kind of followed that. But then when it went to Marvel, the Marvel comics followed the cartoon. The cartoon was drastically different. The cartoon introduced Prince Adam and the parents and the cutesy stuff like Orko and all that stuff. And then, of course, when they made this movie, they ignored both of those completely, right? And this movie, oh God, it introduced like you've got the cast there. So He-Man, Man-at-Arms, and Teela are the trio, and then Skeletor, Evil Lyn, and then Beastman are kind of the main bad guys. But all the other bad guys, all of them are brand new. Like you have 50 characters to pick from, and they just made up Blade and Fang or whatever their names are, right?
I think Blade was in the show originally, maybe, or maybe he was a pirate, so that's probably why you don't recognize him.
Okay.
And just according to Wikipedia, in the Master of the Universe toyline, he was a pirate.
Okay. I didn't know. Maybe they added him later.
Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, Blade's my favorite for sure.
Really?
No, the worst character I think I've ever seen.
These are all crap. That's what I mean. Like you have all these guys. Like you have Lockjaw, Triclops. Who's the reptile guy? I don't remember his name. Sauron. These great character designs, and they just ignore all of them. And then for the good guys, you could have had Zodak. You could have had what's his name, Stratos. Oh, great designs. Ignore them all. Even if they would have had Orko, throw him in there. But instead, they replaced him with this idiot. What's the
with Jar Jar Binks?
Funny guy, yeah, the Jar Jar Binks of this universe.
Gwildor.
Not funny at all.
You said so many names, and Gwildor's the dumbest of them all.
Yeah, true.
What a bad character to start your movie with. I was like, as soon as the movie starts, I'll go, oh, this is what we're gonna. Never mind. Yep. This isn't. Because the movie starts, and I'm like, wow, these costumes look really good.
Sure.
This looks really good. And then immediately someone starts talking, and I go, oh, never mind.
Yep, 100%.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah.
This one was a hard watch.
So.
This one, I would be glancing at my phone every so often to check the time.
Yeah, I can see that.
I was like, oof. And like, it's visually very appealing.
In some places, yeah.
Yes, and then they go to Earth for some reason. Because it's cheaper, probably.
So stupid. But you know what? I mean, even if, okay, let's just say the studio argued it's cheaper to go to Earth. I'm going to argue, have you ever seen the movie Beastmaster?
No.
I love that movie. Okay, it's, you know how in the 80s there was like this whole slew of sword and sorcery films that were kind of imitating Conan?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Beastmaster was the best one out of that group. And all you need is like a desert and some horses, right? You got the costumes here, and then just write a good story. And you don't have to spend that much money. Like as long as you have the set for Castle Grayskull, that's all you really need, I think, you know? So they could have done something on Eternia rather than going to Earth, I think.
They could have done anything.
They could have done
rather
anything,
than what they chose to do, which was maybe the worst plot idea I can think of for He-Man. Oh, what are we going to do? Oh, we'll make him not sword fight for most of the movie. And also we're going to introduce regular humans who don't do anything and are annoying.
Yes.
And they're going to be most of the movie. And I'm like, none of this is what I wanted when I thought He-Man movie.
No.
I thought we were going to be like fighting battles, which no Battle Cat, which is probably the thing that I most know about He-Man is his sick ass tiger that he rides.
Yep.
Not in the budget.
I mean, I can understand they didn't have these special effects, but at least maybe if they would have had a horse and kind of made it look like a cat or I don't know what.
You tell me in 1987, you don't know anybody in Hollywood that you could rent a tiger from. and then just give it like a really bad 1987 wash of green.
That's a good point. They could have maybe had a tame tiger or something. Yeah, something, right?
Like, and he doesn't need to ride it because it's a real tiger. Like, we just need a little bit of tiger stock footage, maybe.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
showing that we left Battle Cat on Eternia with the rebellion, maybe. I don't.
Yep.
But like, I feel like that's a big part of He-Man is the
100%.
cat.
You're right.
The cat and the sword are the two things that I know about He-Man, and I feel like they were not really in this movie at all.
Well, the funny thing is He-Man does have a sword, and it looks pretty accurate. But then why does he carry a gun?
He shoots way too much.
Yeah,
the whole point of him being a sword.
I know.
Like, the sword is the source of his power, right? Like, this transformation.
Which he doesn't do in the movie, but
no, it doesn't bother me that much that he's only He-Man.
Sure.
But I mean, again, I don't have that backstory. But I wish he was doing something.
So, I mean, whoever is watching this review has probably seen the movie, but we should say the basic story is. Okay, put it this way: the MacGuffin of the story is that Skeletor wants this thing. What do they call it?
He has one already. It's a cosmic key.
Cosmic key, and when you press these buttons on it, it creates these sounds. It's basically, it's literally a round keyboard. That's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. But these sounds create portals to anywhere you want,
right.
As long as you could program it accordingly.
Right, and so then they somehow end up on Earth.
Yeah, so they are He-Man and the gang come across this creature who has the key, and Skeletor's after him because he wants the key. And so they all end up in Castle Grayskull fighting Skeletor, and to get away, they just like randomly make a portal to wherever.
Right.
And that wherever happens to be Earth, I don't know, Tennessee-ish?
I don't think it's the South, is it? It's more like...
It's like the Midwest.
Sure. Now, and we should say this is not a big city. It's noticeably a small city because when they are in the streets, there's no skyscrapers, right? The buildings are all 2 stories high. Like,
I didn't notice.
Yeah, I paid attention to that because it's even smaller than Windsor because, like, for those who are watching our podcast, Becca and I are from Windsor, and it's only, 200,000 something people. We have no skyscrapers, but we do have a few pretty tall apartment buildings. But even if you go to the next town over, Essex has nothing taller than 2 stories. And that's what this city looks like. It looks like when Skeletor and all the bad guys are, invading Earth and they're on the street, it just looks like Tecumseh,
It does look like Tecumseh.
A little town of 15,000 people. So it's not very threatening. Like, that's why you always do New York, because if you do New York, you can have 1 million people running away from the danger, right? And it's more effective.
But then you also have to cast 1 million extras to run away from the danger. This way,
is true.
You can, for a weekend, film at your high school.
Yes, which is what they did. They literally did that.
They literally did that. So the gang portals to Earth, and they lose the key in the process, obviously. And that's the main plot of this movie, is to get the key back.
Mm-hmm.
They come across some humans at some point. I don't remember really how they interact.
I think it's because Gwendor is hungry.
Right, so we get introduced to the humans because they find the key. They find the key in the cemetery. So we have 2 humans. Yes. We have Kevin and Courteney Cox.
And Courteney Cox.
Which, shout out to Courteney Cox.
And you do know who the other actor is, right?
Is Robert McNeil.
Who played?
Don't know.
Tom Paris on Voyager.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. But yeah, anyway. So, yeah, Kevin and... Oh, shit, I just had it. Julie. We meet them, and they're in the cemetery grieving Julie's dead parents who died in a plane crash, which is actually a relevant point for later. And they find the key, and Kevin is a musician, and he thinks it's an instrument because it is.
Right.
So he brings it to the high school where I guess he's performing. But Julie's going on a flight because she's getting out of here because her parents are dead, and she's running away from it all. I guess. Julie's probably one of the most annoying characters I've ever seen in my entire life. I hate her. Kevin's not as bad,
Yeah.
but he does still suck. But yeah, Julie
They
sucks.
they both suck, and even the way they're introduced is I don't know. I don't like the way that we introduce them and then right away we find out she's about to leave. And then if you notice, they're about to leave, and then he says something like, well, maybe you can take a later flight. And then she's like, no, I have to go on this flight. I want to leave as soon as possible. And then if you notice, as the van's driving away, they went back and overdubbed a line saying, oh, don't forget, I want to go visit my parents at their grave. And then the next scene is them at their grave, which doesn't make sense because she's in this rush to take this flight, this early flight. Why is she then going to the cemetery? But whatever, okay, fine.
They were like, shit, we filmed a scene where they find a key in a cemetery.
Right, exactly. So, and the thing too is I really, really hated that tragic backstory. The only good thing that came out of it was that cool scene. You got to admit that was cool later, where Evil Lynn pretends to be her mother.
Yes.
That was good.
Where the best part of the movie, Evil Lynn, becomes a different hot woman for 5 seconds.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
But the fact that it tricks Julie, because later in the movie, Evelyn transforms into her dead mother to trick her into giving her the key. And it works, because she's like, oh, all this crazy shit is happening. Aliens, stuff's attacking me. We're currently being shot at. But all of a sudden, my dead mother shows up, and I just don't question that at all.
Of course, it's ridiculous, yeah.
And so she hands her the key back, and Evelyn immediately transforms back and is like, obviously it was me, fucking idiot.
Right.
But yeah, so the two main characters, they take this key, they go to high school. For some reason, Kevin's like, I actually have to go to the music store to see what this thing is. I'll be right back. Leaves Julie. We're still in a rush to the airport, by the way.
Yeah. That's the subplot.
Turns out Skeletor has a key already, or maybe that was stated before.
I don't remember.
Like, I think he has the key, and then the one that they're going after is like the prototype or something. But he sends a bunch of minions to go get the key from Earth, and so all these monsters attack teenage Courtney Cox, and the whole school catches on fire, and they beat the absolute shit out of a janitor.
Yes, I forgot about that. That's right.
So Julie runs out. She's trying to run away. She runs into He-Man, and He-Man fights the bad guys and saves her, which is a recurring theme for Julie. And then the rest of the gang come back, and they're like, okay, we're looking for this key. And Julie's like, oh, my boyfriend has the key. Let's go get it. Boyfriend goes from the music store, runs into the worst cop in the world.
Oh, jeez.
Also a big part of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The cop, for some reason, drives him to Julie's house.
Makes no sense, right?
They're at Julie's house, and then Skeletor's like tracking the key, but he's microwaving chicken, and it's like interrupting the signal, and they explode the microwave, and the cop is like, "You're trying to kill me," and none of it's making sense at all. And then Evelyn shows up on Earth. Because I guess Skeletor sends her, and she fucks shit up in that house. And then the cop has the key. He took the key from Kevin, so Evelyn goes after the key. Then He-Man and the gang show up at the house, and Kevin's got a collar on that makes him tell the truth. And so they go from this location to this location to this location to follow where the key is going. And then I don't remember.
Well,
they left the house. They're in like a pink convertible.
So you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna actually skip along because I've actually got it playing on my phone to refresh my memory. But there is a huge fight. Like eventually, Skeletor comes to Earth.
Yes. There's
a big battle. There's a couple battles, right? There's a couple shootouts. They're fighting in the guitar store, right? Like the music store at some point.
Yeah, they have that shootout in the music store where Evelyn tricks Julie to giving her the key. There's a part in that fight where Tila is guarding the key, and then they're like, hey, we need your help out here. So she goes out to help fight. and she looks directly at the camera and says "woman at arms," and I went, "Oh, this is the fucking worst thing that's happened."
I remember that. Yeah, I'm actually looking at that part close to there right now. Now, before we go forward, I also have to ask, do you know who the actor is that plays the cop, the bald cop?
No, he looked vaguely familiar, but I would
Okay.
have to look up who he is.
So he is the principal in Back to the Future. Have you seen that?
Oh, yes, I have seen Back to the Future.
And he's also the like captain or whatever in Top Gun.
Oh, okay. I
Those
knew
are
he
the two
looked
most-
familiar,
Yeah.
but like nothing that I would pull out of my brain.
So he's probably at this time he was the biggest actor in the movie. His character is an idiot. Like
The worst.
This script was written by high school kids with no concept of how actual police work or the law works, like what a cop would do, what he wouldn't do. It's just idiotic, right?
Or how people would talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so
Oh.
then Skeletor portals into Earth and shows up. And I don't remember how he defeats them. I think he has like Tila and Man-at-Arms in like custody, and he's like, He-Man, I'll spare their lives if you become my slave. And then at that point I was like, okay, I'm back in. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go, Skeletor, have the hunkiest slave of all time. Okay. So then he makes He-Man his slave because the idea is he believes he can't fully become the leader of Eternia unless he makes He-Man bow to him or something.
Something like that. I don't remember how does He-Man get out of it? What does he do?
He
Remember?
goes with Skeletor back to
But then-
Eternia.
But then what happens?
Um,
I don't remember. I just saw
so
this.
he goes back to back with Skeletor to Eternia, and Eternia's like, don't worry. Or Skeletor's like, don't worry, I won't hurt your friends, but I will abandon them on Earth with a broken key. So he leaves
Right.
them on Earth with a broken key that they then fix because turns out key is just a keyboard. And music boys, and so they fix the key and teleport back to Eternia. Everybody, all of them. the
Okay,
cop,
okay,
everybody.
right.
And then
That's right. Yep.
they fight all the bad guys and release He-Man because He-Man's been currently chained and whipped for the last like 10 minutes
Right.
in a not even a little bit gay way.
So
So then they fight, and I think at one point Skeletor like drains the sorceress of her power, and turns really gold, and I hated
Yeah.
that outfit.
he gets like a super suit. Yeah, it's crap. I agree.
And he fights He-Man, and He-Man beats him because he just falls down a pit, as you do. Because the hero can't kill anybody. It
Right.
has to be an accident.
Mhm.
And then we just thank our human friends for all their help, and then the cop decides to stay on Eternia because he's got a hot wife, and movie over.
Oh boy, the story's shit. The script
It's
is
so
shit.
shit.
Yeah,
Like-
it's garbage.
I don't know why we just didn't have like He-Man and the Rebellion fighting Skeletor.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't need to be that deep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Courtney Cox could have fit in somewhere.
Or even if maybe if they did the reverse, where Courtney Cox was a human and she landed on Eternia, that would have been okay. But just the idea of spending so much time on Earth is crap. It's crap.
Yeah, like I don't want to be on watching He-Man run around on Earth saying the 4 words that Dolph Lundgren can say.
Oh boy. Okay, so do you want to talk about these actors? Dolph Lundgren, you know him, right?
He looks great.
Yeah, of course, perfect physique,
He looks like He-Man.
but he does not have the personality or the charm. He's just
muscle.
Yeah, he's just muscle. He can only play bad guys. He was perfect as Drago in Rocky 4, but that's it, right?
But that worked because he wasn't the main character.
Exactly, right.
So like being withdrawn and not saying much is threatening as the villain. But as your main character, when He-Man says 3 or 4 lines the whole movie, I go, huh, isn't he supposed to be like a master at battle strategy?
Mm-hmm.
And like a prince and stuff? No.
Just the completely wrong actor for the role.
I mean, in 1987, how many people could look like that and also act, though?
True, but I would have settled for a half decent physique and a better actor, right?
probably.
Yeah.
But you can't say he don't look like He-Man.
No, I know, but I mean, now I'd have to really think about who would be better. I don't know, but there's got to be somebody, right? There's got to be somebody, like a wrestler or somebody. I don't know who, but
Yeah, he didn't have to be as cartoonishly ripped as the cartoon.
Yeah,
he
could
just
have
needed to be
been like
strong.
exactly. Okay. And do you have Wikipedia open there?
It is here. So Dolph
Okay.
Lundgren as He-Man. He was in the movie. Good for you. God, what a waste of time.
Yep. What about the actor that played Tila? Who was that?
Her name was Chelsea Field. I liked her.
She was okay. I didn't think she was great.
They didn't give her a whole lot.
Right.
But at least like she was like had a personality. It was like, and like they had established a relationship with her dad. That was nice.
Yeah.
Or like seeing a father-daughter military duo.
Sure.
She was fine. Her outfit, 10 out of 10, no notes. I don't know if it has anything to do with the butt garter, but it had a lot to do with the butt garter, 10 out of 10, no notes, and I will not be taking any criticism. And it's okay for me to objectify women because I am also a woman. So
a woman.
Yes.
Did you like
Holy
the part where she was eating the chicken?
And
Remember?
she was like, yeah, I liked, you know what, that's actually kind of funny when she was eating it. And then she was like, did this come from a creature?
No, she said, why is the food on these white sticks?
Yes, the
that
ribs.
was funny. Yeah.
Because apparently they don't eat meat on Eternia.
Right.
That's funny. They're a peaceful race, I guess.
Yeah.
But then her dad was like, yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Uh-huh. So what about the actor that played Man-at-Arms? I don't think I know him.
I don't know him, but I liked him. He was also
okay.
I think him and Tila were the better parts of having to watch anything on the He-Man side of things. I was so disinterested with the He-Man crew because everybody, well, not everybody, but the two main people on Skeletor's side were so much more interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, okay, so yeah, I guess we're done talking about the He-Man actors. So we already talked about the Gwindor.
Yeah, they were there.
They were there.
They were there.
Let's talk about Frank Langella as Skeletor. He was actually pretty good.
So I hated the mask.
Yes, of course, it was garbage.
The outfit was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
But he was kind of scary. I could imagine being a kid watching this go, oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, he's like a real...
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, he's like a real actor, right? Like dude probably has a back... What's his name? Frank Langella?
Langella or Langella. I guess it's Langella.
He's like an Academy Award-winning actor.
Right. He played Dracula in like the 70s, and he was pretty good. Like, he's a very serious actor, yeah.
Yeah, so he probably has like a decent... Oh, he dated Whoopi Goldberg for 5 years. Good for him.
Interesting, huh?
But yeah, he like definitely has like an arts degree and did research and like prepared for his role, whereas I feel like a lot of other people just showed up.
100%, yeah. So yeah, he's a real actor. Now
he's in a much better movie than this.
Yeah, like you're right. He's in a different movie. You're totally right. He's taking it very seriously and putting a lot into it. Apparently, he took the role because his kids loved the franchise. They loved Skeletor, so that's why he took it. Yeah.
Aww. Yeah. And he actually gave a shit. And then this is what they did to him? That's so rude.
Then we have, who's the actress that played Evelyn?
Meg Foster?
Meg Foster. She was perfect. She was perfect as Evelyn.
I loved her. Again, had a personality, charisma. Her and Skeletor had they played off each other really well.
Yep.
It was like this weird power dynamic where she was kind of flirting with him and he was kind of into it, but then he didn't give a shit about her and then she didn't give a shit about him. Because at the end of the movie when he's fighting He-Man, she just kind of dips. She's like, you know what? He's losing. I'm gonna go. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, she was, and it was interesting how she led the away missions. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, right? She was the brains of that. He sends a bunch of goons at the beginning, and he's like, you know what, this didn't fucking work. Can you just go? Because at least you're competent.
Yep. And she's the perfect perfect for the role because she's beautiful, but she looks scary. And those are her actual eyes. Like her eyes are shockingly blue. She was also in the movie They Live, and her eyes were almost distracting how blue they were if you look her up in They Live.
Yeah.
So.
I think that worked to her favor in this for sure because it makes her look alien almost. Like
Right.
Like Tila and Man-at-Arms are just people. He-Man is at least like a massive, beefy dude that's not the regular kind of person. But outside of the costume, Meg Foster is just a pretty woman. But then you have these like they like gave her the fairest makeup possible, and her eyes just pop out of it. It looks really good.
Good point.
I think she had the best outfit, like the best togetherness out of everything. I think was her.
Sure.
Again, somebody who showed up to work and did the job instead of phoning it in.
And also, you mentioned earlier the sets. The sets were pretty good. Like Castle Grayskull or whatever it was. I don't even remember. I don't even know if it was Castle Grayskull or Skull Mountain, but it looked pretty damn good, considering, right?
The throne room and everything inside.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
The stuff that was in Eternia, I liked. Like even the stuff at the beginning when they're outside and it's just like hillside and things like that.
Yes,
it looked good. The town stuff all looked not good.
Looked like shit, like low budget crap.
It looks like we filmed it in the high school.
Yep, yeah. There's also the actress that played the sorceress, but she did nothing. And
she was the MacGuffin. She was the reason why we have to get back in a certain amount of time is because her powers are getting drained. And I don't really, again, know much about the show, but I feel like that's probably a trope that they use often is like, oh shit, the all-powerful sorceress is losing her powers. Save her.
Right.
So she was there. Her costume was cool.
It was okay. I mean, yeah, it actually was pretty cool. It wasn't bad. All the costumes were okay. The sets were okay, but they just didn't know what to do with them. You know?
Yeah, it's just a bad script, just bad writing, a bad idea for a plot, which is really unfortunate because clearly, like, there's a costume designer on this movie who gave a shit because a lot of these are like 1-for-1. Like adaptations. Like they obviously have some of like differences between the cartoon and the show. Skeletor especially. I kind of wish they would have just done like a skull instead of that mask. Yeah.
How would that have worked? What do you mean? Like just an actual skull and then have his voice? Okay.
Yes.
I guess they could
like
have
Darth Vader it.
Almost like or like a puppet, just the skull that talks.
Yeah, or he doesn't even need to move at all. Like I think the way that they did the mask was because they wanted to try to have the actors' facial features feature in the movie.
Right.
But it's just such a bad prosthetic that it doesn't do anything for him. I think it would have been more intimidating, just flat skull. I think that would have been scarier.
That's a good point.
Any clip that I've seen of He-Man, Skeletor's kind of a dope. He's kind of a little buffoony.
That's true. Yes, you're totally right.
They didn't do that for this one. So I think we could have just gone full, like, spooky scary.
Sure.
Scare the shit out of those kids in 1987.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's like they could have done something much better than what we got. That's for sure. Yeah. Because there's no way 1987 you can do a believable skull that moves and talks. It's impossible.
Well, so as we saw when we did Ghost Rider, you couldn't do it really in 2007 either.
You're totally right. 30 years later, you're totally right. Is that 30? 20.
Time.
Yeah. So they done fucked up. I believe I heard that the reason Superman 4's budget was cut is because they funneled the funds into this movie, but this movie still sucked.
I don't think money would have made either movie better.
That's a good point. The script is garbage. You're totally right.
Yeah, I don't think there was much you could do. Like, if the fight scenes in this were better, maybe it'd be a little bit more interesting to watch because they are very boring. They're either just a shootout or like one sword hitting one sword one time. And like, I understand, but like, I know that you have limitations, but it's He-Man. Why are we making a He-Man movie if we don't have a sword stunt coordinator, choreographer?
Totally right.
in the
Yeah.
budget. Like
Hmm.
that should be. You know what this movie reminds me of? This movie reminds me of Red Sonja.
Yeah, I can see that. But Red Sonja looked a lot better.
Red Sonja did look a lot better, but it was also bad.
Yeah, the script was terrible. You're right. You're right.
And I feel for all of these production people because people cared
Hmm.
and then they just shoehorned it in.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. And like, I probably would have been pissed if I was a kid and I liked He-Man. This is what I went to go see. I was like, oh shit, He-Man. And I'm like, oh, when does he do the He-Man stuff?
Yeah, like I said, me and my friends were all disappointed. We all thought it was crap.
It's just like, why bother? Like, if
Mhm.
once you're in production and you've got your like storyboarding going and this is what you come up with, you go, oh, you know what? Scrap it. Actually,
Mhm.
this isn't going to be worth it. Well, we'll never see that Batgirl movie, and that pisses me off.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Good
We
point.
saw this.
Well, it was a different time. So we clearly know what they could have done differently. They could have set it on Eternia, had a better script. They could have actually followed the characters that were in the cartoon. Even the vehicles. Like, one of the cool things about He-Man was that, just like Star Wars, it was a mixture of fantasy and sci-fi. But this was specifically like barbarians. So it was like sword and sandal mixed with sci-fi. And the cool thing was I don't know if you remember, but they had this one toy where it was a two-part toy and the front came off, and it was almost like a Sea-Doo, but it flew in the air. So have you ever ridden on a Sea-Doo?
I have watched other people.
Okay. I'm not into sports or anything at all, but riding a Sea-Doo is one of the most fun things on earth, okay? And imagine a Sea-Doo that flies. Like, what a great idea. And it would have been a simple special effect, I think. You just put someone up in the air and whatever.
Green screen.
Green screen. But they didn't even do that. They didn't have any of the tanks or whatever, the jets, nothing.
They had no space travel at all because they used portals instead.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the
Yeah.
only like ship we kind of see is Skeletor's when he invades Earth.
Right. And it was
And
okay.
Yeah, it looks very Darth Vader-y when him and all of his not stormtroopers, right?
Right. Yeah, yeah. They look like stormtroopers. You're right.
They're just stormtroopers. $20. They're reused stormtrooper costumes.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's no space. There's
No.
none of that. It was very grounded, like on the ground,
Yes.
which is another kind of bummer. Because it's like, then if you're not gonna do it, do something else.
I
Again,
totally agree.
half of these movies we watch, I go, why? Like, why did we even bother making an adaptation? I understand, like, you want to change things, but it's not like this was somebody's vision of He-Man. This was what
Right.
ended up getting scrapped together.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, why bother?
You know what else? This is actually, now that I'm watching on my phone, this is also an early example of desaturating costumes, because in the cartoon, Man-at-Arms, his outfit is, I believe, orange and green. Orange armor over green, like skin or whatever, and then like a gray helmet. And then Tila is like kind of orange and white. But if you look at the costumes, it's like gray, gray, and gray.
Yeah.
It's just like, again, you're selling this to the same audience that bought the toy. So why don't you just make them look like the toy, right?
Yeah, and then Skeletor's only wearing black. Evelyn
Yep.
had some color,
Yeah, a
I
little
guess. But even He-Man, he takes off his red cape and gives it to Julie, like near the beginning, and he doesn't have it for the rest of the movie.
bit. Yeah. And in the cartoon, he never had a cape. So I don't know why he had
Oh,
a
he
cape in
doesn't have a
this. No, there's no cape.
Weird.
But his armor was, I think, silvery gray. So at least that's somewhat. This is kind of like gold. This is fairly close, as close as you're going to get, I guess. But I just wish there was a little bit more color. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just.
It
Anyway.
was very drab.
Yep, drab is the word. So yeah, I guess the question is now, before we wrap up, what are your thoughts about the trailer for the new He-Man movie that's coming out, Masters of the Universe?
Can't believe they gave him pronouns. How could they do that? Can't believe He-Man's woke. I have no idea how I feel. Because again, I don't have
The connection?
the connection, because if She-Ra shows up, I'm fucking here because
Sure.
she and her horse, count me in. I
Yeah.
was a little girl once, princess on a flying horse. That's all I needed. I might see it. It wasn't like I want to see it. I don't know if I'm gonna like run to see it.
Right.
But it looks kind of cool. Unfortunately, the worst person in the world, Jared Leto's in it.
I know. That's sad.
Because he has to ruin everything that I am excited about, always.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he's in costume the whole time and they'll just ADR over him. I don't know. He looks good. A shitty knockoff Joker could work as Skeletor, I think.
Sure.
Especially if they play him up as like more buffoon.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
Well, I think the first mistake is, once again, we're on Earth. Why are we on Earth, right?
Well, I think they start on Earth. That's what I'm thinking. And then, because Adam he's a human or half human or whatever.
He's supposed to be half human, yeah.
Yeah, and then they go to Eternia after.
Right.
So I think it's more of like a... The only word I can think of is isekai. Isekai is an anime type where a normal person gets transported into a fantastical world.
Ah, interesting. Okay, I didn't know about that. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, how am I going to phrase this to make Mike understand? It's like anime. So I think that's what's going to happen is like maybe the beginning of the movie is where they're on Earth, but I'm hoping that a majority of it is not. Well,
it's like Wizard of Oz or Alice in Wonderland, right? You start off in the normal world and you go to a magical world. That could work. Yeah, I definitely hope they spend a lot more time in Eternia, but we'll see. But yeah, I would definitely like to review that for Comic Book Syndicate if you're interested. So mark it in your calendar if you can.
Yeah. What day does that one come out?
I don't know. I'll look it up when we're done because I don't want to open up anything because I'm recording right now. I'm afraid to screw anything up.
Don't touch anything.
Okay, yeah, exactly. But anyway, well, thank you for indulging me, Becca, in reviewing the original Masters of the Universe movie.
What toys was this trying to sell? Because I wouldn't have bought any of them.
Exactly. I'm sure if the franchise was dying, this is what killed it. This is the last straw.
It's like, stop beating her. She's already dead.
Yeah, 100%.
Just smashing it with sticks. That was this movie.
Yep. But yeah, we'll be back to our regular reviews next week. Oh, would you like to know what we're reviewing in our next episode of Tape Crusaders? I think you're going to like this one. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, which I know you're a fan of.
I am a fan of this.
Yes,
oh
you
my
are.
God. I love this movie.
Uh-huh. I know.
It's so bad.
Yes, it is.
And it starts off the best way a movie can, with cultural appropriation.
I'm looking forward to it, yes. I haven't seen it since it came out, I don't think, so it's going to be fun. There you go. All right, well, there you go. Thank you for watching our Masters of the Universe review. I want to thank Bex Luther for joining me. All of our episodes are available at comicbooksyndicate.com or youtube.com. And so until the next time, see you later.